I would like to invite the panelists, the beautiful woman who will participate on our next panel. So, with your applause, and it's my great pleasure to invite to the stage Zümrüt Ibrahim, lawyer, international and EU law, recent position attorney at TANAP. Salam Zümrüt Hanım. I would like to invite to the stage Su Fen Teng, the spouse of Ambassador of Singapore, educator with special focus on pastoral care and career guidance. I would like to invite to the stage the ambassador, the spouse of the ambassador of Mexico, Miss Cecilia Moctezuma. I'm sorry if I spelled it wrong. And she's not here. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, yeah, and we'll have. We also. I would like to invite to the stage Mrs. Gülçohra Sadıkova, the founder and CEO of Interreco International Recruitment and Business Consulting. And Tatiana, are you ready? Come back to the stage. And the moderator of our first panel, Tatiana Mikhail.
You know what I want you to do before, you already know their names, okay? I wanted to take some time to introduce them, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to be stealing the time from the panel, and I want you to Google them. What I want you to do right now, just to have a round of applauses. You know, I do lots of the trainings for the executive feasibility for women, and I know how difficult it is to sit at the stage. So no matter, no matter the age, no matter the experience, it's always how you look, what you're going to tell, what they're going to say. And especially if the audience is all female, are they going to judge us? Well, I'm sure not in this audience. Again, I'm so privileged to be moderating. I need to see all of you. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to interview you, because I think this is one of those cases where there are always two sides of the story. Because being the spouses of the ambassadors, they see you glossy, attending all the amazing receptions, being bright everywhere, but there is a huge work behind this. And probably my first question will go to all three of you, one by one, and we will start with Zümrüt Hanım. When the diplomatic life looks so ceremonial and polished, tell me honestly, what is misunderstood there?
Thank you so very much for organizing this beautiful event. And thank you so very much, Tatiana, for this first question. I think that diplomatic life, at least part of it, is profoundly polished and ceremonial. It is rooted on strict protocol, etiquette, and social interactions. However, we all understand that this surface elegance covers very hard and demanding workload. But I want to talk about the family aspect of this kind of life. So I always say that when we come to a new country, my husband the next day, and often the same day, goes to work. I'm sure the same with you ladies. He goes to work. He knows what he's doing. He has his goals. There's a plan and structure to his life. Family, on the other hand, is starting everything from square one. There's new place, new friends, new school, new traditions, new language, new country. Everything is new. And when time comes to relocate, you often leave when you feel like you just settled down. Then when your friendships deepen and when your professional network got stronger, and it's time to relocate and you go to different country, and again you start from square one. And then you do this all over again and again and again. But I have to say that I'm very lucky because I love this kind of life. I love challenging myself. I love new beginnings. Or should I say my husband is lucky?
He is, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I love this kind of life. I love meeting people. I love hearing their stories, and I love sharing my story because I think every person is a story, isn't it?
Thank you.
Hello,
Yeah, it's
can you
on.
hear me?
Yep.
Uh-huh. Well, firstly, thank you, Lala and Tatiana, for inviting me to this panel. It is a great privilege, and I guess I don't have the same background as some of the other more distinguished panelists because I only started my diplomatic career about 10 years ago. Yeah, but of course, before that, my husband and I did various things, which I think has contributed to hopefully a depth of experience that I can share with you. Of course, by observing not just ambassador spouses over the last few postings, but also mentoring younger diplomatic spouses, giving some guidance. I have, I hope, something useful to share. So, regarding your question about a glamorous diplomatic life, it's a bit like a fashion model, you know. I mean, sure looks glamorous, but there's a lot of grit behind the girdle, you know. So I think for us, of course, like Zumrud says, there's the question of family, of education of children. I think we end up, for maybe not all of us, but some of us, giving up career, either temporarily or permanently, being away from, well, family of a different sort, like my parents, for example. My children are not with me, being away from a different, our home community where we have, you know, deep relationships among friends, colleagues, and so on. So there is a lot of what I would call dislocation. Yeah, you find yourself not quite here and not quite there, and we make the best of that.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am very honored to be here with you today. Tatiana, so you asked about diplomatic life. It's, of course, as my friend said, it looks like polished, and I agree with everything they said. But most of the time, people don't see some part of our interesting life when we should constantly adapt to the new places. Living diplomatic life means frequent relocating, rebuilding new professional networks, also adjusting to new cultures and to new systems. Also, at the same time, families make many sacrifices like career changes and also being distance from our extended families. Also, there are like challenges to maintain stability for our children during this move to another countries. But at the same time, we have unique privilege opportunities to build bridges between cultures and communities. So much of our diplomatic life work happens, I think, quietly when we build relationships, trust, building trust, and when we interact every day with different people from different cultures and countries.
Thank you. Thank you.
If I may just add, we have become experts at packing and unpacking.
Oh yeah.
We have
Oh
become
yeah, big
experts at
time.
living out of suitcases, of sourcing ingredients that we sometimes just impossible to find the right quality, in a different country, and so on and so forth. So those are the nitty-gritty bits that I think we have learned to embrace.
Well, I mean, and this is a difference again between women and men. Men would call it like, we can do this. And we say that, oh, little bit things. Actually, you're creating the power bases. You're creating the places where ambassadors are coming back, where they feel home, safe after the hard day, because being an ambassador is very hard. Again, whoever is seeing that polished speeches, etc., there is like incredible work behind it. And women, spouses, partners are taking such a load on that. And I really enjoy the families where partners both understand it. And in case of Zümrüt Hanım, like I remember one of my first events here, I was sitting, it was dedicated, some dedication, and the ambassador was speaking. By the way, if somebody did not attend the speeches of the ambassador, please do so. As a professional speaker training, I can tell you he is incredible in terms of knowing the history, bringing the facts, and telling you exact evaluation of what's going on. So strongly recommend it. At one of the events, frankly, I came to like, I am invited again to the event, official one, one of those. And I'm sure you had some of those cases. My attention was absolutely blown away by the information I was getting from the ambassador. But one thing absolutely fascinated me when he referred to his wife, who was sitting like behind the scenes. You can never see her, okay? And behind the scenes, he's like, oh, by the way, my wife is here. She's a lawyer and she's da da da. And I'm like, trust me, I know all the diplomatic corps. I don't know, I don't want to brag, but I'm working like, at the top level. But this is very rare where I can see that. So, that first set of questions is going to you. Well, first of all, I'm privileged and I can have that right to do it like from Azerbaijani to Azerbaijani, despite like both Singapore and Uzbekistan are also in my heart too. But Zümrüt Hanım, I know that you do so many things like apart from the family. You operate at the intersection of the governance, culture, diplomacy. You serve on the boards, you lead organizations, you lead international clubs, and you bring your legal expertise. That's my another adoration. I would never be able to be a lawyer into the environment, and that gives entirely unique vantage point. But from your perspective, what is the true responsibility for someone on your position today?
Thank you, Tatiana, for this introduction. My legal background and work experience and being part of international organizations together with my friends and being in their boards, serving their boards, do give me interesting perspective to approach certain discussions with certain baggage. However, I think that my true responsibility, my true calling is building human bridges. My husband, because of his job, he is the one who negotiates. I am on the other side, is the one who connects. Building authentic relationships, connecting with people, it's very important for both my husband and me. We always say that for a country to feel like home, and we approach every single location of new assignment, we approach it not as a place of temporary living, but we genuinely interested in the country, in their traditions, in the spirit of the country, in the atmosphere. So for a new location to feel like home, and to be able to share our rich culture, our literature, art, music, cuisine, the best way to do that is to surround yourself with wonderful friends. And I think that my true calling is this, to build human bridges. Another one, maybe I would like to indicate among other responsibilities that I personally feel like are my responsibility, is helping the newcomers to get adjusted, maybe just a little bit to help them to get adjusted in a new place, introduce them to the network in the host country, because if I'm doing something here for somebody, somebody else is doing the same for me in some other country. So yeah, thank you.
And with that, you came. It's so easy to talk to you, because you drove me then to the next question, and that actually is a part of what you're saying. Because I've heard you speaking a lot about the emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence can sound a little bit overused subject because it's fashionable to talk to, frankly speaking. But at the same time, this is very deep, and we had the conversations with you. I mean, we both are fascinated about the brain and ability of human to feel, and how this everything is like, getting combined. But in your experience, how important is emotional intelligence in sustaining the diplomatic relationships?
In my honest observation, is, and after work experience and living and working in different countries, my observation is that the technical knowledge, the strategies and policies, they are very much important. They are essential. However, we all see that those who really succeed in any profession, those who truly succeed are those who combine that knowledge with emotional awareness and humility. In our professional lives, we negotiate interests, but people are the one who maintain relationships. And these relationships, like any other human relationship, heavily depend on emotional intelligence. And yes, I do believe that in any profession, the emotional intelligence is very important, and especially in for diplomats or their spouses. I want to share little something, if I may. I was reading, and this stayed with me because I was coming back to it again and again. The author was saying that we as human beings are extremely skillful in passing our academic education to new generation. Those rare geniuses among of us who it takes a lifetime for them to discover, let's say, some mathematical formula or physical law of physics. We are able to pass that knowledge within like 30 minutes to new younger generation. With emotional intelligence, it's very different. And there are certain laws in emotional intelligence. There is certain rules, but it seems like every person is on their own, and they are rediscovering those laws and rules by themselves. So my wish for one day, parallelly, when we are teaching our young generations at school this academic knowledge, also to teach emotional intelligence, and it is possible. Yes,
I love that. And I know that we'll be talking about the education today with Gülçahra Hanım is busy. We will be talking to you about the education today. It's a very important topic, but thank you for because this is that again, that overused word, but so deep, and we cannot underestimate it. And my next question is rebuilding the routines and networks in the new environments can be really demanding. And we know that beyond the logistics, there are lots of the other things, and again, the emotional things too. What is the most challenging part of this for you personally? Because we're not here to tell the glossy stories, okay? I'm always saying that, okay, if we will be talking about only the sweet stuff, only the sugar, like there's no point. So what is it really? Is it, or probably you will say to me that I'm fine, there are no challenges.
Being in this kind of a life for several years, actually, it you kind of build resilience, and you know what you're doing, and you take challenges as opportunity to grow. Truly, you take it as an opportunity to grow. You understand that there is no issue that can not be solved. So that understanding that there is nothing that cannot be solved really helps to move forward. So the most important the most important thing probably is to move forward, no matter how slow you go, but you to move forward. The challenge for me probably in the very beginning was to be away from my family. I'm going to join my friends that to be away from the family. Back home, I was heavily dependent on my parents, on my siblings, on anything. Like I need something, and I was taking it for granted. I was calling, and they are there to help. However, being away from the family, as you mentioned, rediscovering myself and I know that I am much stronger than I think. So I would not be able to tell you the pinpoint the challenging thing, but if I may, I will say what I enjoy doing, and that is to represent my home country abroad. It's a great honor and privilege to represent my beautiful Azerbaijan abroad, and I do it with great pleasure, be that hosting gatherings where the friendship deepen beyond official meetings, or creating space where people can be comfortably share and comfortably share and be honest, speaking honestly. They will be comfortable to speaking honestly, and representing openness and warmth and cultural respect. Because often, at least I hope so, the meaningful conversations, they happen during the dinner table rather than negotiating ones.
And you basically answer my next question, which is like, what is it you think defining the role of the diplomatic spouse in today's world? So is it something you just said and you want to add something to that?
I can add. I think that diplomatic spouse is a form of informal diplomacy with a human texture, where the official titles, they are not important, and what is important is building trust. And this is how we do it. We all work very hard. And I honestly believe that diplomatic spouse is a cultural ambassador. They are, in a way, in many ways, they are representation and they are living expression of their home country's culture and values, and be that promoting national art or supporting cultural exchange or hosting some events. Because soft power, it travels through stories, food, art, and hospitality.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I will let you, yes, please. Yes, thank you. I will let you have some breath, because I was harsh on you, and take the spotlight to Singapore, which is another favorite country of mine. And I remember my impressions when I first came there, young girl, and everything was so structured and organized and clean and disciplined and beautiful. But it's the same, like I look at you, structured, beautiful, disciplined, organized, But I know there are lots of the things and lots of the works are behind it. So living internationally while raising a family invites lots of the transitions. How you found the way to stay grounded and purposeful through those changes?
Difficult question.
It is. We don't ask the simple questions here.
That's a very thoughtful question. Um, okay. Personal experience, by observation, by through mentoring some of my younger colleagues and diplomatic spouses, I have come up with a few things. Number one, how do you stay grounded when you live a glamorous life, or a life that's very different and very detached from what you have back home? Firstly, you must remember this life doesn't last forever. Whether it is glamorous, whether it's difficult, you will go back. Yeah. So you may not have to, clean your house, do the dishes, cook your dinners, whatever now, but at some point you will go back there. Yeah. If you find life difficult for whatever reason now, it will be easier when you go back. Yeah. One of those things for us in Singapore is that we have an education system that's very difficult. For those who know Singapore, how many people know Singapore? Yeah. You may have heard that we have a very challenging education system. One of the biggest challenges for most of our young parents is that the children have to go back to their what we call a mother tongue. Okay, meaning that if you are ethnic Chinese, go back. You have to be up to scratch with your Mandarin. If you are Malay, you go back and learn Malay. If you are Indian, you could be Tamil, Hindi, Gujarati, whatever, Punjabi, and so on. So keeping up with that is one big challenge for most of us. Yeah. I think the other, honestly, is a certain detachment from family and friends. Like I said before, it is difficult to keep up with what's happening because once you are out of sight, of course, WhatsApp and social media and so on help, but they help to a certain extent because not being physically present doesn't allow you to do many things, even the difficult things. Like, for example, looking after my parents. I'm not there, so I cannot bring them to medical appointments. I cannot, take them out to lunch. I cannot, whatever. Yeah. So it's that kind of thing that we are talking about. I think for you younger people, at some point, whether you are now living overseas away from Azerbaijan, whether at some point you will be living overseas away from the US to another place, some of these challenges will come to you as well. So I think we need to build that deep well of resilience to be able to handle that sort of adaptation and adjustment.
So now being part of the diverse communities abroad, and I know you've been and you are the part of those communities, often means making connections across cultures and the professionals. What do you personally find the most rewarding about this role? What do you enjoy the most?
I think as diplomatic spouses, we have many, many opportunities. I just want to raise one, which I think we're all part of a book club that is really quite fun for diplomatic spouses, for ambassador spouses. And I realized that our very different cultural background and experience brings something to the table. So we can read a book and have totally different perspectives of what the author is trying to say, or how we feel about that particular book.
Right.
So it goes on to other experiences as well. So I find that life can be very enriching, very enlightening, if you are open to different experiences, and to meeting new people, have a curiosity of mind, that to learn something different and to understand people.
Thank you. I think that deserves a quote. Life can be really enlightening if you're open and curious. And this is something to take, like, for me personally. Thank you for that. So, rebuilding routines and networks in new environments can be demanding, really demanding. And we had that question to Zumrud before. And I would love to address the same question to you. What do you find the most challenging of that for you personally, and how you navigate through that?
Okay, like I'd like to tell people, okay, just as a matter of background, last year I was the president of the ASEAN Spouses Circle. There are now 11 countries in ASEAN. I guess most of us would not be able to name the 11 countries, but that's okay. Yeah. So I remember telling them a little story. Okay. First, the story goes like this. My husband was presenting credentials to President Biden at that time. Okay. So he went ahead and he said, "Oh, I'm the ambassador from Singapore. You know, I'm pleased to meet you." Credentials. And then President Biden shook his hand and said, "Welcome. Thank you." And then he turned to me and he said, "Oh, so you are the real ambassador."
I love
Which
that.
kind of surprised me. I didn't want to ask him, "So are you the real president?" So what happened was this. I told this story to the ASEAN ladies because I think it is important for every one of them to know that they are an ambassador in their own right. It is not sometimes easy, for example, okay, I'll just give you an example, to find somebody in the US that you know that comes from Timor-Leste. That's one of our ASEAN countries, or come from Laos or Cambodia. You know, so they are an ambassador in their own right. So when we do that, wherever we are, from one posting to the next, it is how we present ourselves, what kind of it's not just about culture. Of course, culture, arts and all very important. Yeah. So I will tell you this. Okay. I first met an Azerbaijani when I was posted to Tokyo. Before that, I never did. Then when I went to Beijing, I met some more. Wow. Very good. They all left a wonderful impression. And then I met Zumrud and Tatiana and Lala. And now I have this impression of Azerbaijan that I never had before. And I will tell you, this is a very good impression. Thank you, dear. Yeah. Yes. So that's how it is. It's not just, attending events and whatever. Yeah. It's a lot of effort, I think, on our part to present ourselves as ambassadors, not just the big A, but the small a as well, of our country. So to do that, I like to think that we do it with relish. We take up the challenge, though it doesn't always happen that way, and I understand that. And every country, every posting is a little bit different, like it or not. Yeah. So, for example, during the pandemic, it was tough. Whatever. So my personal mandate to myself is, firstly, I would like to reach out to our own community. You have a diaspora here. You have lots of Azerbaijanis in the US. We have some Singaporeans here. Okay, to work with our community, because, like it or not, an ambassador is like a figurehead. Right. So the ambassador spouse is also like a figurehead. Yeah. So they rally around you and you rally them together to do different things. Secondly, I like to be able to make an impact on the diplomatic community, whether the spouses or beyond. And thirdly, your host country, in this case, the Americans. So to me, I would like to be able to do this so that it's not just for myself to have that rounded experience, but to make that impact with your own community, with the diplomatic community, and with your host country.
Thank you. Well, now I feel that, like, after so many Azerbaijanis, we need to bring you to Azerbaijan. That's
I
like,
really, really plan to go one day.
yeah,
I've heard so much.
Looking
Yes.
forward to seeing
Thank
you
you.
there. All right, and we're moving on to Uzbekistan, the colorful, the bright, the tasty country again. And when I met you, I was absolutely impressed by what you're doing with the topic I love the most, education. Because I do believe that this world starts from education. And we are not talking about the paper diplomas. We're talking about the education, which really helps like raising the new generations, and lifelong education too for all of us. So you are not only involved in building the educational programs, you are building those, okay? And my first question to you is like, how do you see the education as a long-term bridge between the countries?
Education is most powerful and long-lasting bridge between countries, I think. So I started my career in this field in education. I started as a head of admission office. So it was just introduction for me to this field. And then during several years, our heads transferred me to human resources department as a head of human resource department. So it gave me opportunity to see this field from the roots. Like when you start building this system, when you start meeting parents, exploring and introducing this field, it's completely different. I mean, I grew in this field together with my knowledge and my work at the same time. So international education in Uzbekistan, it's like comparing to different countries, little bit new. Like we started to implementing this different like American, British educational systems 15 years ago. So in Uzbekistan, the introduction of international education has opened new opportunities to students to prepare them for global universities and careers. And while also encouraging them to be leaders, innovators, and also be confident. Also for the country, it helps develop new generation of professionals who can be comfortable working in international environments and at the same time contributing to the national development. So I think investing to international education, educational exchange is investment to the long-term international partnership.
Thank you for that. And you are combining, thank you. Yes. Yes. So you're both executive and founder. But my question is like, how you maintain the professional identity as an executive and founder running the business while living a mobile diplomatic life. And I mean, I'm not afraid of this word because the diplomatic life is mobile. So how do you mix it both?
So, because of our diplomatic lifestyle, I decided to adapt my professional path. Um, and I founded my own company in international recruitment because I wanted to connect talents and opportunities across borders. For me, entrepreneurship created the opportunity to build something sustainable regardless of location. Running an international recruitment business allows me to work across borders and continue contributing professionally while adapting to diplomatic life.
If I may,
Zumrüt.
yes, if I may add, Gulchokra is representing her country beautifully, and honestly, I don't know how she combines her duties here with her work, full-time work back in Uzbekistan, and she's a CEO, she's a president of her company, and she is a wife who is next to her husband all the time, supporting different cultural projects. She's a mom of 4, mashallah, and she's a grandma. So I honestly don't know how she does it, but she's a superwoman. And the same with Sue, yes.
And I think this is like, the biggest of happiness of being a woman. I don't think any man can combine so many things in one. Frankly, I don't think, with all my due respect, no, I don't think so. So I know that Husnia is already like waving at me, showing me all the things. Yeah, we have a couple of last questions, very short, and one is coming to you personally. And Zumru just started that. I know myself personally, I know how to to be in between the two time zones. And when I've heard you that you're on the Zoom calls, I know what is that. It's like, when everybody is asleep, you're sitting in the front of the laptop. Or whenever is asleep, you're already sitting in the front of the laptop. Because last time my team said like, oh, you don't want to see us. I said, no, I don't want you to see me because I'm after the shower right now with a towel on my head and with a bathrobe. So how do you do that?
Well, discipline, right? First of all, honestly, now it's Ramadan time for us, for Muslims, all right?
Allah God bless you.
So some days I don't sleep because I have to work and I have to be awake to be with my family and kids. So most important thing to be disciplined and do your best and organize your day. This is how you can be happy and you can finish all your duties without harm to your body and mind, I think. So working across the time zones also requires structure. If you don't have a structure, you cannot do it. It will be very messy, right? Your mind and everything will be not organized. And also, I rely on clear planning and what is strong communication with my team. This is also very important. If you work with your team and understand them, they understand me, everything can go smoothly without any it doesn't matter you sleep at that moment while your team working or they sleep while you are planning to do something. So if you have a good plan, good structure and discipline, everything can go smoothly and nicely. And I honestly, in the beginning, I thought I cannot do it, but during the time, let me try, right? And I found my colleagues from Uzbekistan, like, do you want to work with me? And everybody wanted. So now we're all happy. Everybody has their own time to be with me, and everything going on time, and we closing our tasks, and it seems very nice because in the beginning it seemed to me it's not possible, right? I'm here and my team is in Europe and some of them in Uzbekistan, and how I will do. But nowadays, I'm happy that we have a lot of projects. Every day, new projects are coming, and we didn't even expect this thing. So,
Right. So discipline,
this
planning, and communication.
yes, this
are
is
the three
what.
keys.
Yes.
All right, heard that? All right, thank you. And Hosnia, I mean, any women events, whatever you're planning, they're never on time.
Yeah.
I know. I feel sorry for you. Yeah, I know. We start later. We talk to each other. One question I cannot miss asking them, all three of you. Very short answer, please. Very precise. But this is like my particular curiosity. What is that? Back in, I don't know, 20 years back, 15 years back. What is that you wish you knew about now?
Very precisely, very short is the message that your parents are telling you, they are giving you, you have to trust it. Whatever they are telling you, like you can do it, they are believe in you, you have to trust it. So I am blessed with wonderful parents that influenced my life heavily, and the values that they gave me, the wings that they gave me. My father influenced me a lot. He literally told me and my siblings, "Fly. I am here to catch you if you fall. While you're learning, I'm right here." So, yeah, trust yourself. Yes.
So,
Okay, two very short points. One, it's okay not to be okay. I think I learned that early because sometimes, you know, how many hats we wear, how many balls we juggle, how many plates we spin. It is quite impossible to keep everything up every time. Yeah. So sometimes it's okay. Yeah. Be kind to yourself. That's number one. The second one, which I really feel like I should have learned earlier, is that find an intersection between what is needed, as in you look outside, you know, whether it's the environment, you know, the country that you are in, you know, what your husband needs from you or your children need at this point, versus what's inside. Find, for example, a passion that you can pursue. If you're into arts, education, women's health, whatever, you know, what you feel very strongly about, and make it something that you can do where you are. Find an intersection.
thank you. And Gulchahar.
So for me, I wish I knew in my early years have to come to your career. Like I have to teach our students to choose a career. I think this is very important. Even nowadays, before it was a little hard because when we studied, we didn't have these informations. Now our kids can have from the high school like a career opportunities, right? They have knowledge, but in nowadays we didn't have these chances. So this gave us little more time to gain. Come to our point. So this is what I was thinking about.
Thank you. And with that, yes, please, I want to hear it loud. And thank you to all three of you. You're incredible. Thank you.